We got Clemson versus Texas, the preview. Chris, I'll start us off here talking about Clemson. So, Chris, obviously we know coming into this year, all the attention, all the eyes, everything was on Garrett Riley and this offense, Cade Klubnik, all that's what it's been about at Clemson over the last few years is their offense has not been good. Well, offensively this year, I can't really, you can tell they've made a lot of improvements. They ranked 12th in the country in total offense. Cade Klubnik has had a really great year, putting up 33 passing touchdowns to only 5 interceptions. Phil Maffa has been really great for them back there. He's banged up, but it looks like he is going to play in this one. He's there, Dabo came out and basically said, hey, look, he's going to have to have off-season shoulder surgery, but he's going to play in this game. So we'll see how good he can be for them. The issue for Clemson this year, Chris, has been on the defensive side of the ball. Now, have they been terrible defensively? No. They're not the worst defense in the country, and I don't want to, illustrate to that. But what I think the problem for them has been is they have regressed, to be, worse than they've been in a long time under Dabo Swinney defensively. That to me scares me when we're talking about having to play in the college football playoff. We just got done talking about some other teams, and hey, look, maybe the offense isn't as good, but the defense, like Tennessee and Ohio State, they have the defenses that can keep you in these games. I don't know, and I don't particularly believe that Clemson is really built to have to put up 40 points in a game and try to win it that way. Just personally speaking, could they do it? Sure. But defensively, I would say they probably, coming into this playoff, have one of the worst defenses in the playoff, just from a ranking standpoint. So that's going to be interesting to see kind of how they can perform in this one, going up against a Texas team that is going to be fired up based off how they lost. So with that being said, I'll kick it over to you. Tell me a little bit more about Texas.
Yeah, Christian. No, I mean, look, Texas 11-2, man, coming off that loss to UGA in the SEC title game was a hell of a football game. That's only, Texas only 2 losses this year to your Bulldogs. But let me break down some stats here like I normally do. The offense for Texas has been pretty damn good. 33.6 points per game. That's 26th best in the country. They're 18th in total offense, 64th in rushing offense, 13th in passing offense. Now, Quinn Ewers, feel like we talk about him a lot over here. He's had a solid year, 2,600 yards, 25 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. He put up a lot of yards against Georgia, but man, the 2 turnovers in that game, those hurt him. But it is what it is there. In the running game, I don't want to shit on Texas's running game, but they had lost 2 running backs to start the year. They got Quintrevian Wisner back there, and he's filled in pretty well. He got hot a couple games late in the year here. And, he's been pretty solid. So I don't have a ton of questions there. They are going to have to try to establish some sort of run against Clemson here, though. You can't come one-dimensional if you're Texas. The pass catchers, obviously, Texas, they've been great all year. When doesn't Texas have a great receiving core? Matthew Golden, tight end Gunnar Helm, Isaiah Bond, Ryan Wingo, the list goes on. These guys all have over 30 catches this year. And it's really hard if you're Clemson to focus on one guy here. Man, that's one thing Ewers does a great job, and even Manning does. They spread the ball around in this offense a lot. And the other thing here is one thing to watch for is the protection for Texas. They've given up 28 sacks this year, which isn't good. That's actually quite a few. And it's one thing that Clemson does do well, you alluded their defense. They do get to the quarterback, though. They have 33 sacks on the year. So that'll be an interesting matchup there on the lines of scrimmage. On the defensive side of the ball, the Longhorns have been great, man. They allow 12.5 points per game. That's second best in the country, 3rd in total defense, 14th in rushing defense. They're number 1 in passing defense. So something's got to give here in this game. In my opinion, though, as far as the prediction comes down to, man, in this game, Texas's defense, if they can slow down Cade Klubnik, and I have to come on here and I'll admit it, man, I've been shitting on Cade Klubnik for 2 years. He had an amazing year this year. This guy has been awesome. So I have to come out there and admit that. I apologize, Tigers fans, but he's been great. But as far as that goes, Clemson, like I said, they rank at almost, the top 20 in a lot of statistical categories. They're a good football team with 3 losses. But I think this one I had to really think about because I do think Texas is the better team, yes. But the one edge I think you can't account for here is Dabo and this staff, man. His whole staff's pretty much been there the entire time he's been there. They've been around for a long time, Christian. They have, and they've played in a lot of big games. They're no stranger to big playoff games, national title games, and stuff like that. Texas is a 12-point favorite in this game, which I think is really, really big. I want to take Clemson here, but I just can't. I got to go with the better team in Texas, even though I know Texas didn't look great last time they were out. Give me Clemson 21, Texas 28.
Yeah, Chris, give me Clemson 27, Texas 35.